What's up, everybody? Good evening. This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again. I got a hot topic for you guys tonight. I want to dedicate this episode, first of all, to my big auntie, Miss Aquila, here in Accra, Ghana with me. She actually brought up this topic on her page, and because it was like it couldn't be shared because it was like for her friends, I reposted it and shared it on my status. And as a result, I've been getting notified all day long about replies. People are just irate about this topic. So I felt actually was requested by one of my Facebook friends to, do a video. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to talk about this because I think that obviously people going beyond the West need to know the perspectives on relationships and marriages. Women that are coming here to the continent need to be aware. Men that are going to various places in international community need to be aware. This is something we don't really want to talk about, and it may be part of the reason why in the Western world we are severely challenged in our relationships. So let me go ahead and get on to this topic. Big shout outs to the family. Guys, if you are here in the room, please make your presence be known. Make sure you like the stream. You can support the stream as well. You can share the stream, You can share it with your friends. Hold on, let me get my earring in, I decided to put a little earrings in for y'all. I was trying to look good for you, First of all, big shout outs to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com. Those of you guys that placed orders for Valentine's Day, some Black Lover Stay Single got sold, so I'm very proud about that. Also, big shout outs to all of our members only who are designated by the circle next to their name. And last but not least, all the African Superstar music lovers. You guys know for the past few days, I have been talking about my Spotify and my Audio Mac. I'm trying to get the numbers up so I can authenticate myself on the apps. So if you guys are using any of these streaming sites, Apple Music, Amazon, go ahead and just add me to your playlist on Spotify, Audio Mac, Boomplay, whatever you're using. Okay. Now, let me get into the topic of this video. Marriages and relationships are transactional all over the world. I believe that in the West, we have really been heavily socialized with this, very passionate, romantic marriage, relationships, based on love, based on emotions. And that is not how the majority of the world looks at marriages. Here on the continent, that is not how marriages are looked at. Like I said, all of this is the residual of my big auntie sharing a post on her status on Facebook. And she talked about personal observations from friends of hers that are here in Ghana that are in relationships with Ghanaians, actual Ghanaian women, and her perspective is based on a culmination of all of these things. And she talked about how, traditionally here in Africa, the marriage is between two families. There will be a lot of cultural things that happen to introduce the families to one another. There is bride price that gets paid from the groom's family to the bride's family. There is a whole kind of like tradition that goes into it. And it's not the way that we do things in the West. When people in the West decide to get married, many times it's on an individual level. Many times if, for instance, those individuals went to their family or their friends and they said they don't approve of the relationship, they're not going to, give the blessing or whatever, some people would still choose to go on and do the marriage anyway. So I believe that in the West, a lot of times the marriage is between individuals versus the rest of the world. It is between families. It is transactional. Okay. Even when you think about yourself, for those of you that are single and searching, or even those of you that are already in marital situations, when you were dating your partner or as you search for your partner, ideally you want someone who's a good fit. You want someone that is stable. You want someone that can, you know, you may not want him or her to be extremely wealthy, but you would love for them to at least be able to provide for their own needs and things like that. Obviously, you want an attractive person. You want a healthy person. You would prefer a person with less baggage, you know? And obviously, the more desirable you are, the more beautiful you are, the more wealthy you are, your requirements and expectations of this person, these, you know, whoever your suitors or whatever, will be higher. Okay. That's why, like, say if you are, you know, Sasha or Malia Obama, okay, President Obama's daughters, okay, just any old guy is not going to be able to get an audience with them. Any old guy is not going to get the blessing from Barack and Michelle if Barack and Michelle don't approve of this person, if they don't think that this person is the caliber of their daughters. Okay? Transactional is not bad. The advantage is, in most cases, for Westerners abroad, okay, if they understand the fact that relationships are transactional and kind of get out of this fantasy view of relationships, they can actually choose very wisely, because in some settings they might have the pick of the litter. This brings me to Africa, my homeland here in Ghana. Now, obviously, I have made videos in the past where I talk about dating here in Ghana and things like that. One of the very popular things that goes on, obviously, is older ladies and younger men. That happens a lot here in Ghana. I personally know several women that are older that are married to Ghanaians, you know, anywhere from maybe 10 to 15 years younger, things like that. And the reality is, if, for instance, your age mate was here in Ghana, so let's say you're 45 years old, all right? Your age mate here in Ghana, probably, it's highly unlikely that she would pull the same exact guys that you can pull. Some guys are going to look at you, obviously, as a meal ticket, okay? But there are other men that will see you and think, okay, this person, they will kind of see you as, what's the right word? They will see you as, you know, a more desirable option, rather, because of the fact that you're foreign, because of the fact that you have this access, or you look different, or you have the accent. What Westerners need to know is that if you're ready to pay, you can play. This is what the ladies coming to the continent may be missing. This is also what the passport bros are missing. You see, in the West, we don't want to do anything to edify our relationships. Does anybody agree with that? The women don't want to cater to the men don't want to cater to the women, right? So you have a stonewall that happens because the woman's like, nah, I'm not doing this and that for him. And he's like, well, I'm not doing this and that for them. The irony is, when Westerners go into the international community, they're ready to do for these folks that they meet in the international community. Consequently, you know, they can have it their way. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these transactional relationships are totally manipulated. And that means the person doesn't even like you. They're not interested in you at all. They just want to, you know, execute their grand plan or whatever. There are some people that are attracted to you and stuff, but obviously whatever edge you have is working for you. Okay. Now let me just say this, Who's in the chat room with me today before I get on to my next point? What's up? I only see Alexis. Is Alexis the only person there today? Can I get some likes? Can I get some correspondence before I move on? Because y'all know I don't really like spectators like that. Hello. What's up, family? If you're here in the building, make your presence be known. Make sure you like the stream. Today, I'm talking about this topic, relationships in the international community, they are transactional. It's a fact. You don't have to get bent out of shape because that is what it is. It's the truth. You know, if you compare yourself to the local people, your same age or situation, you will see perhaps you're getting an advantage. It's the same way, like, unfortunately, in some situations, non-black women that are not the same caliber as their black counterparts, because of the way men see them or whatever, um, they will get the advantage sometimes. So you could be the baddest black girl out there, but because the man is whatever, whatever, he might prefer this average or mediocre white girl to you. All right, thank you. Anita's here. She can't be nowhere, but she here today. I see. All right, so I got two people in the chat room. Now here on the continent, let me say, okay, I have sampled the Ghanaian world of men. I have sampled some of the men that I have dated or been around or whatever. They are fine as hell. I mean, fine as hell. Okay, big muscles. A couple of them had six packs. Some of them even model. I know this one dude. I used to see him on a billboard all the time here in Ghana. And when I actually met him, I'm like, gosh, you look so familiar. And it didn't dawn on me until I went past another billboard and saw his picture. I'm like, oh yeah, you're a model. So the advantage is that here on the continent, for instance, ladies, you might get an audience with a supermodel. You know, you might meet the most attractive man you've ever met. He might not have baggage. He may not have vices. You know, a lot of people here on the continent, because, you know, they are wildly religious. So many people, especially Ghanaians, they live a very conservative life. A lot of them don't like smoking. They don't do tattoos. A lot of them don't have children out of wedlock and all these things. So, you know, yeah, he may look at you as, you know, this Westerner, this foreigner. And a lot of women don't like being put onto that pedestal because they actually want to just be seen as another counterpart. But in reality, use whatever advantage you get. You see, because I tell you what, I'm not mad at transactional. Transactional is the way forward, to be honest. Transactional is the way that both parties can ensure they're getting what they want out the deal. You know what I mean? You can set up your requirements as to what you want to do, what you need from this individual, okay? Which is what they do here, you know, in terms of like the bride price and stuff. The bride's family will present a list of gifts or whatever things they need. And the origins of the bride price is it's actually compensation for the daughter from the family. And it's also a preparation for her marital home. So some of the women will ask for like clothing or shoes or, you know, these kind of things, because the concept is now I'm leaving my father's house and I'm going to my to my husband's house, and I'm now part of his responsibility. So that's what the bride price is. I would say, obviously, because the discussion on my Facebook has gotten so in depth because there were so many comments and then there were so many responses to the comments. So the bride price actually came up. And this Western guy said, oh, yeah, but, you know, how can African Americans expect a bride price from, you know, a local Ghanaian man who maybe doesn't make a lot of income and this and that? Bride price is negotiable. You know, I would say to people that are here living on a continent, to scale your needs based on your partner. You know, if your partner is well-to-do, business owner, he's doing very well financially, then you can set your bar according to that. If he's up and coming or whatever, or, you know, his salary is not whatever, I mean, I would definitely not be encouraging women to be requiring dollar amounts and all this stuff. Is bride price, you can do things such as, you know, I would accept like the first year's rent on our place. You know, that would be a lovely bride price. I don't particularly need a big diamond ring or anything like that. Or maybe he wants to pay for the honeymoon or, you know, these kind of things. These are things that maybe he can manage that's still a token of his interest. It's transactional. Okay, which means both parties win. You know, I was asked on the post, well, Gina, knowing that it's transactional, would you get involved in a transaction? If the transaction benefits me, yeah. I'm not going to marry someone, for instance, that, you know, his expectation of the relationship is he wants to go live out in the West. Well, then that doesn't suit me. You know, I need something that, you know, obviously it's give and take, but I need something that the most important aspects of my life I don't have to compromise. If that deal comes on the table, so be it. Because I like transactional. Honestly, I think transactional is easy. You know exactly what your husband or wife is expecting from you. You provide that, and then everything goes smooth. For those of you guys that have marriages and or divorces, okay, realistically, there was a time in your marriage that you were happy, right? There was a time that you were head over heels for your partner. There was a time you were wildly attractive to your partner. A lot of times what happens is when someone, you know, one or both parties decides to drop the ball. Okay, one or both parties decides, you know what, I'm not going to cook and clean this house. Your husband gets upset. Okay, your husband says, well, I'm not going to pay these bills this month. The wife gets upset. You know, the woman says, oh, I'm not in the mood again for the third time, you know, in 3 weeks. He's like, okay, I'm fed up. Okay. The thing that we don't understand in the West is that relationships are transactional. Everybody wants something out of the deal. There's nothing wrong with that. And the best marriages and relationships is where, again, the transactions are mutual. You feel like, okay, he or she's meeting my needs, and your partner feels like he or she's meeting my needs. I feel like I'm getting something out the deal. You know, if a man, for instance, takes a lady that he's interested out for dinner, okay, wines and dines her and all this kind of stuff. Later on, they go back to the apartment. It goes down. He doesn't feel like he wasted his money. And she feels like, hey, he took me out on a really nice date, spent money, bought me some flowers. Okay, it's a mutual exchange. Now, if that man takes the woman out and the woman doesn't really like him, the woman's just going for the free meal or whatever, okay, at the end of the night, he's going to feel like, I wasted that money on the dinner. I didn't even get what I was intending to get. You know, or if the woman goes and then when the bill comes, he says, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot my wallet. She's going to be like, damn, I came out, I dressed up, I got my hair done, and now he doesn't even want to pay for the dinner. You see, mutuality. And I put this post up on my channel, and I just wanted to elaborate because I saw, obviously, there were some people on the post who this pertains to. They are definitely in transactional situations, whether or not they recognize it. Because again, if you were to sit there, ladies, all right, let's be real here. You're 45, 55, whatever, you know, and you're pulling a guy who's 25 years old, 28 years old, something like that. Realistically, you would have to wonder, okay, where is this interest coming from? You know, that he is interested in me and not maybe his age group or whatever. And he's also not interested in women in his own demographic. And if you're 55 and your boyfriend is 28, would he date another 55-year-old Ghanaian woman? Absolutely not. Age gap is a big deal here in terms of, you know, local people. His family would probably not approve that. The reason why it's even being entertained is because you're foreign. But instead of you being upset that, yeah, he's ultimately selected you because you're foreign, go ahead and play your cards right. Get what you want out the deal. Get what you want. That's the advantage. The passport bros know they couldn't really pull those girls if those girls were stable, if those girls had had their education or had other means to get money. Huh? They wouldn't even get, these women would never even look at them. But they know that they got the advantage because, hey, the women want what? Money. If you pay to play, you win. If you understand transactional, you win in this game. You know, it's not for you to get upset because that is how the majority of the world looks at relationships. Okay. It's in a sense, it's a business merger. You know, it's like, okay, you bring this to the table, or your family brings this to the table, or if I marry into this family or whatever, these are the potential benefits. It's not to say the person is not attracted to you, the person's not doesn't care for you and things like that. It doesn't always have to be all about the transaction, but for the most part, that's what people are going for in relationships. You know, men marry beautiful women because they want good-looking kids. You know, they want bragging rights for their bros to be like, yeah, look at my girl. She's beautiful, this and that and the other. They don't care if she's an intellectual. They don't care if she's a CEO. A lot of those, very high earning men, they want stay at home wives anyway. They don't even want her in the workplace. All they want her to do is cook and clean, be pregnant and barefoot at the crib. That's all, they want her to do. It's all about beauty for them, a lot of cases. You know, women want a man. I mean, some women have outlandish desires and wants in a man or whatever. But a lot of women, they just want, okay, a man who's going to be responsible, a man who's going to be there, a man who's going to help me out with the kids and all this kind of stuff, And so the minute we can start being honest with ourselves and understanding that the majority of relationships in the world are transactional, you just have to pick a transaction that works for you and not get emotional when you have that competitive edge. It's kind of like, let's say you're a track star. Okay. Now Usain Bolt, for instance, he comes from Jamaica, and a lot of track stars come from Jamaica. Some of the fastest people in the world come from Jamaica. Okay. You never see Usain Bolt getting into the Olympic ring and say, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. This track, this is in our genes. This is in our genetic. I'm just so sorry. I'm actually going to give y'all an extra 10-minute start to go ahead and equal the playing field. No, Usain is like, yo, I'm fast and I'm going to win this race and I'm going to win this money and I'm going to win this gold medal and I'm going to dust the rest of you guys. In other words, use your advantages to your advantage. Okay. You know that you're here and people are going to be like, okay, she's rich. She's foreign. I like her American accent. I like her British accent. She's different or whatever. It's your competitive edge. It's your competitive edge. You come to the continent and, no offense, you're fat. Men here on the continent like bigger ladies. It's your advantage. Use it. Pick the one that you like. Pick the deal that suits you. But know that, yeah, you're capitalizing your advantage, and so is he. There's things he wants from the deal. There's a reason why he picked you over other ladies. Don't get it twisted and be like, yeah, I'm just the baddest. I'm just the baddest to ever walk the face of this earth. No, it's not like that. He chose you for specific reasons over the other people, the same way you're choosing him or whatever. And if you get transactional offers, because this is also something that, Western women, I'd say more or less, don't understand. You can also refuse the transaction if it's not the deal you want. If someone's presenting you a deal you don't want, you don't have to take it. You can say, no, I'm not into that. If the party doesn't want to bring anything to the table, i.e. you come here to the continent, the person you're dealing with, has like no means at all. Okay. No money, no job, no prospects. Okay, you're basically getting a child. Okay, you have become an orphanage. That's not what you want. You know, if you are selective, select someone who at least can manage his or her affairs before you come into the picture. You know, the advantages that you have and you can use within your relationship to help your marriage or whatever, so be it. You know, however, don't lose in this game, guys. Get something out the deal. And a telltale sign that a person has motives in the situation, they don't ever want to invest. So if the conversation of bride price comes up and they say, Lady Visionary, Lady Visionary is already married. She exercised her privilege up on Patrick, her husband. But let's just say, let me use somebody else. Isasa, I know Isasa's single. Okay, so let's just say Isasa brings it up and she says, you know, the guy starts talking marriage. Okay, because you know, here on the continent, they might start talking marriage on the first day, day number 2 to chat, second line, oh my God, I love you, the love of my life. Okay, so Isasa says, you know what, look, I like you too. And maybe we can do something. And then she starts her laundry list and she's like, but you know, I'm going to be living here in Ghana. You know, so if you want to travel and live abroad, you know, we can't do that. And he says, oh no, I don't want to stay here in Ghana. Red flag. She could say, hey, you know, I can't, you know, you're not the transaction deal that I need. You know, he might be a little short. He might be a little whatever you don't want. You don't gotta take. Listen, I tell y'all what, whoever, if it happens again for me, if I get the right transaction deal brought to my attention, he gonna be fine. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm getting me an African king. Okay, one of them ones that you know you see in the kente with the muscles popping out. Yeah, he gotta be something like that. I'm not taking no moo-moos. I'm sorry, I'm not. The transaction gotta be right for me. I only got a couple few requirements. Okay, just a few. And he got to be bad because there's too many beautiful men out here for me to be with somebody who's not bad. Okay, sorry. And if a person feels like, you know, they can't meet your transaction request, your bride price or whatever, do not be intimidated to say, okay, well, you know, I'm going to move on from this situation. You know, because that's what women that are not desperate can do. Women that are not desperate have that liberty to say, you know what, look, I like you too. You're a really nice guy. However, this is not going to meet my need. You know, I have a couple gentlemen that are long distance, you know, that are interested in me. And I say, I can't do long distance. Sorry, I'm not into that. And they say, yeah, but I can come to Ghana a couple times a year. And I'm like, sorry, it's just not going to work. It's too much going on around here for me to be involved in long distance. I'm sorry. And then God only knows what you're doing out there because these hoes ain't loyal. So you set the stage as to the transaction you're ready to get into, but don't get it twisted. It doesn't all need to be motivated by your emotions. You're just waiting for this spark and this like ethereal feeling. You're just like, oh my God. No, it's not about that. You know, definitely choose someone you like, choose someone you're attracted to and things like that. But in reality, it's an agreement. It's a business merger. You know, when JP Morgan Chase decides they want to merge with the local bank in Ohio, do they sit down at the boardroom and say, oh my God, I saw, you know, PNC Bank and they just gave me butterflies. You know, I couldn't sleep all night. We were on the phone till 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's why we want to do this merger. No. Okay. They look at all the relations, at the line. They look at, you know, how this has increased their in this kind of, you saying pros and say, okay, you know, like I said, here on the continent, you may get the kind of man that you just think is like unbelievable. A kind of man that you probably wouldn't have access to in the West. Real talk. Especially as maybe an older lady, a fat lady. Let's be real, guys. A lady with kids, you know, a lady with a past, you know. As many men in the West would call, you know, getting up to whatever, say, oh, hit the, you know, yet in the international community, you can still, you know, get some attention. Well, then it's your advantage and play on it. You see, when it comes down to this integration on the continent, it's about S&P, huh? Does anybody in the room know S&P? It's been a minute. I asked y'all. Does any of the viewers know what S&P is? It is our mission statement. Okay. Let me see if anybody remembers what it is. The lady. Okay. When it comes down to us integrating here on the continent, it's about strategy. Okay. It's not about the butterflies. You will spin your head around and around and around if you want to partner and you're waiting on butterflies. I'm sorry. And that's wherever you are in the world. You know, if you're looking at butterflies and you're waiting for that spark, you know, he or she's my soulmate and all this stuff. A lot of times when you have the butterflies and you have all of that kind of stuff, that stuff gradually fades. You know, thank you, Eternal Blossom. Strategy, maturity, and patience. That is and this is the methodology that I said, you know, you can apply this to everything you do in life. If you're trying to matriculate here on the continent, strategy, maturity, and patience is what you need. Okay. That means when you are, for instance, being in a relationship with someone here on the continent, you understand that, wow, I probably am getting the competitive edge because I'm foreign. I probably am getting the competitive edge because this and or whatever. If I was a local man woman at this age and with kids and all this stuff, you know, I probably wouldn't be getting the same type of attention and all of that. All right. That's strategy. Maturity is understanding it, not getting all bent out of shape. You have an advantage and you know it. All right. Patience is selecting the best deal for you. Okay. Your dream, many women that are coming here, your dream is to have a husband, have a partner, have children. Okay. Going to perhaps that in exchange for whatever that your partner is wanting, needing, or whatever. Okay. Some of you ladies that still live in the West, he absolutely wants you, perhaps because of the ability to travel. But beyond that, is there any relationship beyond him wanting to travel? That's what you have to determine. You know, is this person someone who is already in motion in life and needs a stepping stone? Or is this someone who is an opportunist? And the minute you bring him to the West, it's over for you. That's what you have to determine. You see, I don't particularly with that. I don't entertain someone who needs to be there or needs to be there. Okay. So for me, I don't have to deal with that. But for those of you that are interested in perhaps, you know, migrating your new husband over there, you know, there are a lot of diasporian women, for instance, with successful marriages to continental Africans or African migrants. Lady Visionary is an example. You know, she's married to a Rwandan. Okay. She wanted to actually go for Ghana, but he wiped, you know, what they say, knocked her off her feet. You know, I've heard the story a few times because she's actually a friend of mine. You know, Eternal Blossom, she's another diasporian woman, happily married to a Ghanaian man here. You know, and marriages, they use the ability to travel back and forth and all this stuff to build their lives here on the continent together as a team. You know, it is a winning strategy in their lives. You know, Lady Visionary is able to operate her business and things like that in Rwanda. Sometimes her husband goes and works and hustles a little money in the UK. You know, Eternal Blossom, sometimes she goes to the US and hustles, comes back here, assists her husband with his business, and all of that stuff. It's a dream team. It can work. But if either one of these girls know, you know, we're not real with themselves. And, you know, Eternal Blossom and I, we've had this conversation personally. A lot of, you know, Ghanaian men, African men, Black men, they prefer fairer skin complexions and things like that. You know, and we had a conversation thinking about, you know, like even our own parents. You know, my dad was quite dark and my mom was fair skinned. You know, and it's like, okay, that's your particular advantage, maybe. You know, you're attracting what you like, and they're also attracted to you. And in as much you may not like it, you may not like the fact that, oh, he's attracted to you because you're light skinned. You may not like the fact that he's attracted to you because you're American. You might not like the fact that he's attracted to you. You know, I mean, certainly you really wouldn't want a man who's attracted to you for papers. I would advise you guys to stray away from that unless that person is paying you for the transaction. Okay. So if you guys are doing that kind of transactional situation, then because people pay for that now. Okay. But the broke guys that can't afford to pay for the papers, they are the ones that try to charm you and stuff like that. But you just, at the end of the day, ladies, what I want to tell y'all is you need to walk away with something. Lady Visionary, you know you rich, girl. I'm out here trying to hustle. You got a whole hotel and farm and everything, bruh. I don't got plane ticket money to Rwanda. But if you want to fly me out, huh? Maybe y'all can write it out. Y'all can write it off. I can come do some promotional videos for the Twin Lakes. Think about it. Big shout outs. What's up? Go taste and see. What's up, family? Today I'm talking the truth. I'm just being honest. You know, people in the West, they don't want to pay to play. But when they go in the international community, that's exactly what they're doing. Okay? It's an advantage. Use it to your advantage. You know, I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, some of these men, you know, my friends have seen some of the guys I date and all that stuff, and it's just like unbelievable. I'm telling you, they are just absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm very physical, you know, I like to be physically attracted to a man, you know, and some of these men are just unbelievably handsome here in Ghana, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, that transaction deal gotta be what's up. You know what I'm saying? The transaction got to benefit me. The whole transaction can't be about you. That's not a transaction. That's a one-sided, you know, and who in their right mind would sign that kind of deal? You know, if JP Morgan was acquiring PNC Bank and JP Morgan says, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and take over your bank and we're just going to keep all the money. PNC would say, well, what are we getting out of this merger? You know, what's in it for us? Get something out of it for you. You know, that way, honestly, if stuff hits the fan, you don't feel bad because you ate off the plate. You know, again, people only ever feel played, or people only ever feel like they didn't get the line when, you know, the relationship failed and someone else benefited and they did it. You know, let's say you do the marriage for, you know, the money for the papers. Okay. And you know, going into it, hey, this guy or this lady is into the papers, but they're going to go ahead and pay me, you know, 10,000 pounds to do this papers, $10,000, whatever your bottom line is. Okay. Maybe you guys actually create a real marriage. Maybe you guys, you know, fall in love. You're spending so much time together and living together, whatever may be, you know, something blossoms there. But if not, you made money and they got their papers. So they feel like it won. They won. That's the advantage. You guys are going out of the US and all over Thailand and Cambodia, coming here to the continent. You got to pay to play. That's what I want to tell y'all. It ain't tricking if you got it. You know, you come over here, ladies, You come over to Senegal, you go to Nigeria, you go to Ghana, you meet the man of your dreams, and you're just like, oh my God. And, you know, you're getting something out the deal. You know, you're getting your husband, you're getting kids, you're getting a robust love life, you're getting a companion, whatever he's putting on the table for you. And you feel like, you know what? I don't mind to do these papers to get what I'm getting out of exchange. I don't care. It's worth it to me, you know? Then, hey, use it to your advantage. You know what I mean? That's what I have to say about this topic. Big shout out to the African superstar family. What's up, Prince Ayoko? I see the family here. Yes. So this is the topic tonight. For those of you guys that are Facebook friends, you can actually go to my feed and actually see the comment. It's a repost from Miss Aquila, and I'm actually I'm visiting her next week. I plan to visit her next week, and I'm going to actually shoot a video with her and I talking about it again, a pre-recorded video. So that's coming up in the pipeline because people don't want to be real about it. And I think if we had realistic expectations about life, then it won't be so shocking. You know, it's not a mystery that we're coming here to the continent and these men are giving us attention. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're foreign. Yeah, so what? Play your cards and get it popping. So you're hot cake now. You went from being nobody minding you and being less desirable to a hot cake. Now you getting supermodels, and now you getting, you know, the type you like, whatever. You know, okay. You know, shout outs to Afro Millennial Mama. She married a Senegalese man who looks like Tyson Beckford. And he's tall and very extremely chocolate. Now she's living in Senegal, her best life, in an African mansion with a pool with their daughter. Yeah. Play your cards right. And Sister Y'all's husband is fine as hell too. Big, strong, very handsome. He's a few years younger than her. Hey, play your cards. Play your cards. If you got an advantage, use that advantage to your advantage. You know, the passport bros are so stupid, they don't realize that the relationship is transactional where they're going. Okay, these women in the third world countries are only paying attention to you because you're paying for their attention. Basically, if you stop paying or supporting them or giving them a good time or whatever, they would not be nearly as interested in you as they are when you're paying. That's actually why women in your own environment in the West are interested in you, because you're not doing anything. Hello? You don't want to wine and dine. You don't want to marry. Okay? You don't want to take care of your kids. Of course, women would be frustrated with that. They would be like, well, why should I worship you? What am I getting out the deal? Everybody wants to get something out the deal. You know, if we had open dialogues with the person that we're dating and say, you know what, look, you know, I've even recently asked, you know, one of the people I'm dating, well, what is it you're looking for? What do you want? What do you need from me? You know, so that I understand the kind of things that he wants, and determining, yeah, I'm ready and willing to provide that, or no, I'm not. You know, so if we have this conversation and he says, look, baby, this is what I want from you. You know, I expect you to cook. You know, I expect you to clean. You know, I want to have an active sex life. I want to have 2 or 3 kids. You know, I want to live in UK. I want to live in Rwanda. I want to live in Ghana. This is my game plan. And then you say, okay, I like that transaction. Let's go for it. I'm ready. Or, no, I don't think that can work out for me. You know, I've already had a couple kids and I don't want to have any more, or whatever your situation is. You know, don't be afraid to reject the transaction if it ain't working for you. Simple. So big shout outs to the family. Thank you guys for listening to my opinions on this topic. Shout outs to those of you that are going to see the playback. You can leave in the comments what you think about transactional relationships. A lot of people, like I said, on Facebook, especially people that are involved in these situations, and I don't know if they are aware or not, you know, if they really just believe that it's just, oh, wow, you know, I've come to the continent and I've met someone and they're just wildly in love with me. It's not a transaction. It's he's my soulmate. She's my soulmate. Okay. You know, but you're in a better position when you actually recognize that, you know, you're attracting them for certain reasons, you know, and or you are attracted to them for certain reasons or whatever the case may be. If you know your advantage, then go ahead. You know, I know, for instance, hey, I'm a hot cake out here. What's up, T. Kelly? I know I'm a hot cake, which means I can reject. If the deal ain't dealing, I can say, nah, I'm good. I don't want it. You know, and I'm not gonna lie. I got one the other day, and he was so fine. He was so fine. Monica knows him and asks about him every single day. I don't even know if I should show his picture. You know, I'm a celebrity YouTuber, but man, he was so fine. And then he told me that he, you know, it's his dream and all that to go to the UK. Now he has a good job here. He also has his own side businesses. He has 2 cars. He has his own place. He's, you know, he's doing all right for himself. And I was just like, well, you know, I just got to be honest with you. You know, I don't intend to live in the West. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. He's so freaking fine. He's so fine that it hurt me. It hurt me in my soul. But I was just like, nah, I can't. I don't want to, you know, set the wrong tone for this situation. You know, if the transaction ain't right. Now, see, some of y'all so thirsty. If y'all met this dude, you'll be like, oh, I don't give a damn what I'm gonna go ahead and take it because he's fine. Let me see. I might just try to show y'all a little bit. Oh man. He's so fine. Let me see. I'm gonna try to show y'all just a little bit, just real quick. Just real quick. Cause man, woo! I'm gonna try to block out his head so y'all can't see his head, but because I got pictures of that body is on. Damn. I might have to send it to T. Kelly. T. Kelly's my homegirl in real life, so I'm gonna send it to T. Kelly. Okay, let me block out his face. Can y'all see that? Oh no, y'all can't even see. Sorry. Ugh. Hold on, let me try to block out his face. Damn, y'all can't see. Hold on. Can y'all see that? Look at them. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? Oh my God. Woo! So fine. Jesus. And I mean, and I was just like, man, he'd be calling and oh, Gina, and I'd be like, oh my goodness. But see, you got to take the transaction that works for you. Okay. He wants to go to America, you know, and I'm like, I ain't going to get in the way with you going, but I'm not going. I don't want to sell you a false dream, but so ladies, I'm sorry, we got off the topic a little bit, but just be strong out there, ladies, huh? With these supermodels out here. But you see, I know I'm a hot commodity out here, so I'm like, okay, you know, he's hot, but you know, I can get in my flavor. So then there was this other one. I'm not going. Let me go. Let me get ready to go. T. Kelly, don't be like that. Don't be like that. That's why you no. Big shout outs. WM said, look, I got married on the continent last year. Look, you got the advantage. WM, is your wife, is she beautiful? What's up? I bet she beautiful. What country did you marry from? Which country did you marry from? WM, West Africa. What's up, Kimla? I see that. What's up, family? Let me see where did you, where, yeah, look, you gotta be real. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys because our people are very outlandish. And I mean, when we talk about these topics, people get so emotional. Baby, look, you coming from the West, you might be a little fat because a lot of our women, unfortunately, it's like the food we eat. You might be fat, you might be a little older, you might have kids, you might have been through something. Okay. You're pulling these super hot dudes because of your competitive advantage. So don't apologize for your advantage, but use the advantage. If you come over here and get a bum, that's on you because you can reject. You know, chances are, if you're over here because you are foreign, just being honest with you, you will probably get approached more than one time. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. This is my trivia question now. For people that are foreign that have come to Africa, have you had multiple people approach you, try to, ask for your phone number, try to meet up with you? Shout outs W in West Africa, Mary from Sierra Leone. Yeah, I know some people from Sierra Leone. The men is fine over there. Woo! Yeah, I personally know one in the UK. Congratulations. Congratulations. What's up, Tony Africa? Congratulations, man. Win. Y'all don't need to be salty about what it is. You're getting attention because you're foreign. When you go abroad, yes. Yes. They're going to say stuff like, oh my God, I love your accent. I always wanted a lady from America. I like this. I like that. Okay. Look at this. My wife is drop dead gorgeous, dark chocolate. T. Kelly, she's been to Nigeria and also Ghana. She says proposal soon as you step foot out the airport. Now, T. Kelly, that's my homegirl. That's my baby. But I don't know how much proposal action you get in America. Just being honest. Me too. America, UK, I get some attention, but it's not to the level here on the continent, And actually, now, when I go out there, I'll be like, you peons, because I'm getting dudes like that begging to be with me and stuff like that. And I'd be like, who are you? Who are you? When I get around and it's a dude I'm not into, I'm like, how dare you even approach me? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Reject the deals that don't work. Okay, them rich people in like Bollywood, India, and Asia and all that stuff. The parents be like, no, this man, he's not good enough for my daughter. The family doesn't have enough money. I'm not sure he can take care of her. People proposals get rejected if they don't meet the criteria. Your job is to make sure that that criteria it works for you. It meshes. You might be, yeah, I got over because I know I'm a little older than him, and this and that and the other. Yeah, okay, but I'm winning. Okay, I'm winning. I mean, sometimes I think about that one, and I think to myself, I'm like, my God. I mean, the woman that eventually comes and gets his attention here, she gonna be hyped. She's gonna be happy with that. She's gonna be like, hey, I'm willing to do whatever with this man, because he's fine as hell. He's a nice height too, probably almost about maybe 6 feet. Yeah, man. T. Kelly says, I say no either way. Been there, done that. I'm for the streets. She's for the streets. Lord have mercy. TK. Y'all is for the streets. Well, I'm kind of for the streets right now. I'm for the streets until the right deal crosses my table. When the right negotiation goes down, I'm in it. And I'm good. I'm happy with the negotiation. I'm happy to know what he wants from me, what he needs from me. I'm happy to provide that. And he needs to uphold his side, and we're both going to feel great. We're both going to feel like we win. He's going to be like, ooh, I married this foreigner. And I'm going to be like, oh my God, I married a supermodel. And every night is like Christmas. And I'm also shining in the face of my adversaries. And I get to live here on the continent and wear my kente with my man. Okay, so it's a win-win-win. When or if that day comes. You feel me? He say, so you might already met the right one. You never know. But are you willing to do transactional is the thing. You know, he's going to come with his laundry list of what he wants from you or what he expects. Are you willing to deal with that? That's the answer. That's the answer. Right now, and I mean, especially very heavily in the West, and you see the West is like severely challenged with marriages and families and everything. It's because people don't understand this concept. When you decide to be with someone, you're settling to a certain degree. You're agreeing to accommodating that person and their weirdness and their nuances and their attitude problems and their moodiness and whatever comes with that person. You're deciding, you know what, I'm going to consciously take this person, and what I'm going to get out the deal is the compensation for me dealing with this person. But the way that we look at relationships in the West is like, I need this person to be all these things for me. And then maybe what I give them is minimal, or maybe what I give them is nothing. You know, sometimes when men approach women in the West and they want whatever they want. So they say, you know, I want to have kids. And the woman says, oh, no, I'm sorry. I already have kids by previous man. I don't want any more kids, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Right then and there, the man's like, okay, well, this isn't the one. The man comes and he's like, look, I want you to cook and clean this house. And then Miss Corporate Babe is like, me, I don't cook. You know, I'm not doing that stuff. I'm a corporate, you know, guru. I can't do this. I can't do that. The man says, okay. No, the man says, baby, I got a 6-pack. Okay. And I want you to train. I want you to go to the gym. I want you to stay fit. You know, I'm interested in you being healthy. And the woman says, oh, I'm sorry. I'm too lazy. I'm not interested. Now, see, the woman that is ready to meet that man and maybe his requirements will have a better audience with the man, because the man's going to be like, okay, she's ready to meet my needs. You know, it's kind of like the women with standards, and they meet the guy and they're just like, okay, you know, so what do you want out of the relationship? Oh, I don't, let's just see what happens. And the woman's like, oh, yeah, no, that's not what I want. Versus the man says, you know what, I actually want a long-term relationship. I actually want children. I want to build a family. Then she's going to be like, okay, great. You see, you got to put in to get out. Simple. Simple. You know, in many ways, men are easy creatures. A lot of them, they just want food and sex. You know, a lot of them, that's what they want, and something pretty to look at. You know, they don't care if you're the Nobel Peace Prize winner or, you know, whatever. If you shop at Nordstrom to decorate the house, half the time they don't even notice all the little details that we're into. Okay, they're pretty simple. They want this, they want that. They don't want a disagreeable woman, you know, who's always gonna give them a lot of headaches and, you know, whatever. You know, and the same thing for, you know, women and men. Women want a man who will take care of them, you know, take care of them financially. And then other women want a man to take care of them emotionally. They want the man to show them respect. They want the man to show concern. They want the man to be there for their emotional needs. But anyway you cut it, a woman wants the man, you know, needs the man. Either financially they want the provider, or they want the emotional support from the man. Bishops, let's see what this says. Prince Ayoko says, the rule is simple. Not all that glitters is gold. Not every man in Africa wants a woman from the West because they want to go to America. There are real hard-working men in Ghana who live a good life. That's facts. And what I'm saying is, when you are getting into your transaction, you know, because relationships are transactions. Hello, that's what it is. You need to pick well your transaction. You know, obviously Prince Ayoko, he's living in the northern Ghana, and he's doing his own thing. I don't think Prince Ayoko is interested in traveling to America. I don't know. There are men here in Ghana that are not interested in traveling abroad, but they still will want something from you. Most men, especially unmarried men, men with no children, I mean, it's usually standard they want kids. They will be expecting kids from their wife. Okay? They will probably expect some domestic stuff from you. If you look at the women culturally in their environment and their family, that is what they do. They cook, they clean, they rear their kids. It is what it is. When you become his wife, he will expect these things from you too. Now you're going to get Mr. Six Pack, Mr. Hot Dark Chocolate, whatever you're getting, Mr. Supermodel, ultra sexy, whatever. Okay, I mean, you got to meet him halfway. That's what's going to make it work. Simple. And if you are having the advantage for whatever reason you're having it, then go ahead and use it. Many of our family members in the chat room have attested that when they're here on the continent, they're hotcakes. They get a lot of attention from men, and maybe probably also for the gentlemen, they may get a lot of attention from the ladies here, foreign gentlemen and stuff like that. You can get it your way, but you need to choose well. And just know that when you get involved in these relationships, you need to hold up your end of the deal. It's a conversation maybe you want to have if you're considering getting married to someone here or in the rest of the world outside of the West. What is it that you are seeking in this relationship? And if you're marrying a good partner, they should be able to tell you straight up, this is what I need. This is what I expect out of you as my wife or as my husband. I tell dudes straight up, look, I just need a couple things. First of all, I'm a public figure. You cannot embarrass me. Okay? Govern yourself. Be appropriate in the public, because if you become my husband, you're going to be associated with me. So do not be ruining my good name with your wild living. You see? And see, I'm on point, because all but one so far has not embarrassed me, not put me out there. Only one so far has, what I took as disrespect. And y'all know how I handled that, because I don't like that. And I'm going to tell you up front, look, this is what I need from you. And I would say the vast majority, like 99% of the men I've been involved with, have understood that and have done well. You don't hear a lot of scandals about me. You don't see naked pictures of me hitting the web and, all these kind of scandalous stuff, because I've already said, look, I just need you to be respectable. You are an extension of me, and you need to govern yourself well. And he needs to be fine and attractive, for my own vanity and need. And you need to be okay with your homeland. Just a few requirements, and be a little taller than me when I wear heels, because I wear heels a lot. I'm kind of superficial, but that's my transaction. If you meet it, and I tell y'all right now, I promise y'all, when he meets it, that's gonna be a day going down, because it's gonna go down. I'm not accepting a transaction that's not suitable. I'm not accepting that. So when I do accept it, y'all better know. Woo! All right, family. Big shout out to everybody here. I see a lot of y'all spectators here. I hope you heard me loud and clear. I said marriages in the rest of the world are transactional. This is probably why we're failing at marriages in the West. We have one of the most largest divorce rates in the world, because we don't understand it's give and take. Everything needs to be reciprocal. Okay? Don't get with that man and then completely fall off and not want to give him attention, and then you tell him you don't want to have kids after you told him you was going to want to have kids, and this and that and the other. Hold up your end of the deal. Hold up your end of the deal. Men, you like paying to play in foreign countries, pay to play in your home, and then watch how you'd be amazed how you can have relationships with the people right then and there. You know, meanwhile, you're telling these ladies in your environment, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, and you wonder why they don't have no respect for you. You wonder why they're not interested in you. Yeah, because you don't want to do anything. Meanwhile, you go to foreign countries and you're ready to do stuff. And then it's not magic that they want to cook and clean for you and all that stuff. It's not magic. You're doing something. You're doing the things that the men in their countries have already groomed them and accustomed them to do. The men are going out there and getting the bacon. The men are the breadwinners. The men are the protectors of the family, so that the women can be the mothers and the house domestic women and all of that stuff, and look beautiful and do beauty regimens and all that. Yeah, because they don't got to be playing the masculine role. Very, very simple. All right, family. So I look forward to hearing to those of you in the playbacks, in the comments. Much love to the African Superstar family. Please, guys, please make sure you like this stream. And shout outs to our super chat donor, our one and only super chat donor today, WN West Africa. And congratulations to him on his new Salon TT wife, huh? That's a term for Sierra Leone ladies. So a big shout out to him. He's married a beautiful Sierra Leone lady. Big shout outs to you, man. Much love to the diasporans doing that intercultural here on this continent. Big shout outs to y'all, man. Make sure you get the right transaction deal. Make sure you're getting something out the deal, something you want, something you need. You know, if the deal don't suit you, you feeling uneasy, then reject the deal and meet and gather someone who can meet the requirement. I mean, if you're now a sex symbol here on the continent, then I mean, hello, exercise your privilege. If you're now a sex symbol, go on. That means you pick and choose what you want, right? You ain't gotta pick the bottom tier. You can get what you want. I'm just saying. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.